Officially known as the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Massachusetts also has 5 different official nicknames: Bay State, Puritan State, the Pilgrim State, the Old Colony State, and the Baked Bean State. Massachusetts is the 15th most populous state in the Union with an estimated 6,949,503 residents. That's a 5.3% increase over the population count from the 2010 census. The capital of Massachusetts is also its biggest city and one of the most famous cities in all of the United States. Boston is home to an estimated 710,195 residents, good for the 21st largest city in the nation. The greater Boston metropolitan area is one of the most densely populated metro areas in the entire United States, and it also functions as a nerve center for advances in education and industry within the nation. In addition, Boston has strong and unique historical relevance both before and after the American Revolution. If you're heading to Massachusetts looking for work, you may be in luck. In fact, Massachusetts is one of the wealthiest states in the Union per capita and boasts a diversified economy with a wide variety of profitable sectors. The economy of Massachusetts is buoyed by higher education, healthcare, finance, biotechnology, information technology, defense, and manufacturing, to name a few. Speaking of manufacturing, Massachusetts derives less than 10% of its gross state product from production and exporting. However, it's still in the top third of the nation in total manufacturing output. Factories in the Bay State turn out an impressive spread of goods including paper, chemicals, medical equipment, plastic goods, telecommunications devices, machinery, and electronics. Are you a fan of cranberry sauce, or are you more of a fresh cranberry person when it comes to your Thanksgiving dinner? Whatever you choose, there's a good chance that the cranberries you're eating came from Massachusetts. The state is the second largest producer of cranberries in the United States, behind Wisconsin. Other agricultural products which are key to the Massachusetts economy include greenhouse goods, sweet corn, and apples. Another huge contributor to the Massachusetts economy is tourism. Massachusetts is a hotbed of historical relevance, playing host to some of the most pivotal events in United States history. From the American Revolution to the abolitionist movement, Massachusetts has been the backdrop for many different turning points in the nation. It's also where the genesis of American art and media really took off. All of this historical weight is a huge reason why outsiders from within the United States and around the world visit Massachusetts. Whether it's to check out the John F. Kennedy Library and Museum in Boston, or the Plymouth Plantation in Plymouth, tourists come to Massachusetts to reckon with history while also experiencing the modern delights of a technologically advanced state. Other key tourist attractions within Massachusetts include Old Sturbridge Village in Sturbridge, Minuteman National Historical Park, which lies between Concord and Lexington, and Bostonian highlights such as the Old State House, Old North Church, and the USS Constitution. And if you want to get away and experience nature, Massachusetts also has 450,000 acres of state parks and forests for you to explore. While Boston has a really reliable subway system, and bus systems around the state are generally just as easy to use, it's still much more efficient to have your own vehicle in Massachusetts. There are many main highways, byways, and thoroughfares within Massachusetts which will connect you to gorgeous scenery in the state, such as Cape Cod and other states in the Northeast. If you're looking to travel between Boston and New York, there's also Amtrak trains which outperform commercial flights when it comes to moving folks from one city to the other. Speaking of Boston and New York, some of the greatest rivalries in professional sports come from this regional connection. The Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees engage in the most storied rivalry in American professional sports, and the fan bases of these two Major League Baseball teams get into the action in a way that's akin to some of the more fervent soccer fans around the world. All things considered, Massachusetts has a unique and storied sporting legacy. It has 4 professional teams in the 4 major American sports, all of which have won a championship in their respective leagues in the past 2 decades. The aforementioned Boston Red Sox, the National Hockey League's Boston Bruins, the National Basketball Association's Boston Celtics, and the National Football League's New England Patriots. The state is also the birthplace of 2 different sports. James Naismith took some peach baskets and created basketball at a YMCA in Springfield. Shortly after that, William G. Morgan invented a rudimentary version of volleyball at another YMCA in Holyoke. As you can see, the historical impact of Massachusetts spreads into many different facets of everyday life. Speaking of essentials to everyday life, the food in Massachusetts is something else. This is especially true if you can make it out to Cape Cod or other coastal towns on the Atlantic. Fresh seafood is the name of the game at many restaurants in those areas, and the different clam and seafood chowders they create from the catches of the day are among the tastiest and most revelatory foods in American cuisine. And for those moving to Massachusetts with hopes of continuing an education, this is the state for you. Massachusetts has 114 universities and colleges within its bounds, and it's the home of some of the most storied and respected institutions of higher learning in the world. The two most obvious examples of this are Harvard University in Cambridge and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, also in Cambridge. Massachusetts is also home to 3 of the top 5 liberal arts colleges in the United States according to a recent U.S. News and World Report ranking: Williams College in Williamstown, Amherst College in Amherst, and Wellesley College in Wellesley. Other notable universities in the state include Boston College in Chestnut Hill, Tufts University in Somerville, and Brandeis University in Walton. When you ship your car, truck, or van to Massachusetts with Nexus Auto Transport, you will have the key to so many amazing sights and sounds in the Bay State. Whether you're heading to a sporting event in Boston or checking out the majestic splendor of Cape Cod, your vehicle will get you everywhere you need to go to experience Massachusetts for all it's worth.